Whether you're a small business owner or a social media marketer, putting a really creative, eye-catching header at the top of your email is a great way to draw a prospect in to the fantastic content that you put in your email. Be sure to stay to the end of this video because we have a great free guide for you that's going to help you master your email marketing and help you grow your business. If you are truly ready to grow your business or grow your client's business, be sure to ring the bell and subscribe to our channel so you can get notified every week when we post a new video. Hi, I'm Jeanne from Six Figure Business Coaching, and we love helping social media marketers, virtual assistants, and even freelancers start and grow a successful business. Email marketing has one of the highest ROIs, return on investment, and is recommended for any and all industries. Okay, so we are going to jump right in here and we are going to create a really nice header image in Canva. Then we're going to jump over and insert that into our Mailchimp email header template. So in Canva, today we're going to assume that we are a social media manager who works with coffee shops. So that's the header image that we're going to create. So I've already logged into Canva here. We're going to just click on create a design. Oops, and I already started typing in email header. So we can just click on that and you can see it already has the dimensions already set up, 600 by 200, which is a really nice size. Because sometimes if you set the image and it's too big, it may look okay in your email template header, but when it shows up in someone's email, if it's like 800 or 1,000 wide, it will show up that big in their email. So it looks really awkward. So it's nice to have it all set up properly from the beginning. In the left-hand side, you can see these are templates that they've already got set up. And the purpose of the template is obviously that it has a really nice layout for you to use or to kind of use as a framework for your design. So if you want something very, very simple and clean, you know, you could use this little homes one at the top. Here, again, it's just an image on the left and some text that kind of overlaps the image. Keeping in mind that any of these colors, any of these images, any of these pictures, logos can be added to this. So all of this can be changed. It's really just to kind of get your creativity going and maybe to pick something that you really like the way it looks, and you just have to insert what you want in there. So Canva do a really nice job of doing some nice layouts for you to use as kind of a guide. So today I want to use this one because I like the idea of having a nice big picture on the left and then something small on the right. I don't necessarily want big text there, but I'm going to show you what we're going to put in there instead. So on the left-hand side, since we're doing social media marketing for coffee shops, I want a picture of a nice busy coffee shop. So we're going to go over here to the left to photos, and I'm going to type in busy coffee, oops, spell it right, shop. So I get all these pictures of, because, you know, we want our coffee shop owners to see a nice bustling, you know, excited, full coffee shop full of customers, because that's what they want to see. They want a shop full of customers. So we could choose any of these images, but I kind of like this one right here. So what I did, all I did was tap on it, and you can see it brought the image over to the right to our working area. So we can delete the back image that's already there if we wanted to, or we could just drag this picture in there, okay? And if you want me to, I did that kind of fast. So what happened is when I deleted the background image, it left this. When it has this, you know, the sky and the clouds and the bottom, it means that this is a frame, which is a really, really cool idea that Canva put together. Because what happens then is when I grab my picture, I can just drop it in there and it automatically reformats it to the size of the frame so it fits in there. So I don't have to resize it myself. So I really like that. Now over here, I can see that the bigger text and the smaller text are grouped together. And I could see that because of this dotted line. And I can see that also because up here it says ungroup. So I'm going to click on ungroup so I can ungroup them.
because I'm going to get rid of this bigger text. So I just click on it and then hit delete. And I'm going to write something on here, because I'm going to write helping to keep your coffee shop buzzing. That's going to kind of be our tagline here. Oops. It's kind of hard to see my cursor there. Back, put it there. Okay, and we can make that a little bit bigger if we wanted to. Just so people are able to see it. Because you have to remember, people are going to look at it on mobile too. So you want to make sure everybody can see it. So the next element I want to add to this is a logo. And I have, actually, this is my other company, Mark Beach Marketing, and I'm just going to add this logo in here. So again, I did that really fast. I went over here to uploads, and these are different images that we have already uploaded to Canva, and it stores them in here nicely so we can use them again and again. Then I just clicked once on the image and it brought it over here, and then I can just drag it over here and I can resize it as any way that I choose. And then let me see, I might make this a little bit wider so it's only 2. And I can bring this down a little bit, because what I also want to do is I want to put my picture in here, because I want people to associate my business and my logo with me. And that's become really, really important as far as branding goes. So remember I was talking about frames. So what I want to do over here is go over to elements and type in frames. And so these are all the different frames that are already set up. So if I wanted a frame that was a circle, I just click on that and then I resize it the way I want it. So that's pretty good, I think. So that's my frame. So then I want to come over here to uploads, because I know I've uploaded a picture of me in here somewhere. And I'm going to find that real quick. Oh, there's me. So now I just clicked on me, and then I'm going to go over here and drag the picture to the frame, and it automatically puts it right there, drops it right in there. So now they've got a picture of me, so they know that I am Mark Beach Marketing. And then I could change this to another color up here if I wanted to, maybe use more of a branded color. I could change this to a different font. Maybe I have a branded font that I use. I can take this element here. Again, maybe I want to change that to a branded color. And when you have the upgraded version of Canva, you can put your colors, your logo colors in here, and they will be right here so that you can select those first instead of having to put in the color number. Now, if you wanted to put in your color number, you just click here and the whole palette will come up here. But you can see the nice thing too is it also pulls out photo colors. So these are all the colors that are used in the photo here, in the logo, in my picture. So if we wanted to match any of those, Canva does a really nice job of already selecting those. So the last thing you want to do while you're here is to go ahead and name this. So when you come back into Canva, you can see over here it says all changes saved. So we know that this image has been saved. And then over here we want to name it. So let's call it email header MM for Mark Beach Marketing coffee, and then generic. So we could use this anytime. And then we're going to go ahead and click over here on download. And I would go ahead and download it as a PNG. It's a nice small file, so it doesn't take too long for people to see it when your email gets to them. If it's too big of a file, it takes a couple minutes for them to see it. We don't need a transparent background. We don't need to compress it or anything, so a PNG is just perfectly fine. So let's go ahead and download that. Your design has been published, gives you a place to save it. So we're gonna go ahead and save that. And then I'm gonna go over here, and this is just one of our dummy accounts that we use. And we're gonna go ahead and create an email. And we're just gonna call it email example social media marketer. Begin. And then here's where, you can add your recipients. So that would be, you could click there and it'll go to your audience section, and you can select what lists of people you want to send it to. And here's where you click from. So that would either be you or your business. Here you would add a subject, and that's a really important aspect of your email because you want it to be something compelling that's going to excite them and want them to open it. And here's where we want to go. We got to go to design email. So here is where they've got some really nice layouts. These are all templates that you can select from. The first couple come with the free edition, and then some of these are available if you wanted to upgrade. But then they have just some basic ones. One column full width, 1 and 2 columns. But we're just going to go ahead and select the first one, which is the 1 column. Because then I'm going to show you how you can use the different elements on the right. So this is all you start out with. Okay, so don't worry about view this email in your browser. Go ahead and leave that there for people to have an option to go ahead and click on view in their browser, because then it will make the email a little bit bigger, and some people like to view it that way. So it just starts out with a logo image and some text, and then a few items for the footer. So we're going to go ahead and change this logo. So all I do is click here and go over here to the right and hit replace. And then I've got the image here, but if I didn't, I would go ahead here and click upload, and I would select the image, and then I would open it, and it would upload the image to Mailchimp. And then I would insert the image. And so you can see it inserted the image on the left. So that's our email that we're working in. On the right, it gives you the information. So it's 600 by 200. That's perfectly fine. You can hit Alt. So if for some reason somebody didn't see the image in their email because their email was, sometimes the email protects them from different images and doesn't always render the images, you could just put, the name of your company. And then the other thing that's nice that you could do here is you could put a link. So I would always, if this is talking about your business, I would go ahead and put a link to your website. And then I would always, in the advanced options, make sure it says open in a new window, because you don't want them to be looking at your email and then click on that, and then all of a sudden they're no longer in your email, now they're at your website. So what you want to happen is you want a new window to open up and they go to your website. So if they decide, oh, okay, now I'm on their website, and they close that, they're still going to be in your email. And then if we go to style, okay, so if I click here on the left, you can see, let's see if I click down here, you can see that the header image doesn't have any kind of border. It's just white like the rest of it, which is fine. I mean, I think it looks nice. If you wanted to give it a border, that's when you would go to style. You could give it, a solid border. You can, round the corners. You can play around with this and see. You could give the border a color. You could give it one of the colors that you used. So, feel free to kind of play around with that and see, see what you like. And then you can, each time you click in these boxes, it's going to correspond on the right hand side is going to be where you make changes to that. That's why when I clicked in this bottom one, you saw, okay, here's where you can set all of your social media icons, and then you can even add some more on here. Save and close that. Okay, so once we've saved this, we get the blocks again on the right. So I'm just going to mention a little bit about those. So if you wanted to add a text box, if you wanted to add a button, if you wanted to add any of these aspects on the right, maybe you want a divider between, you know, the header image and your text. So if you wanted to add a divider, let's say, you can see the divider is one of the blocks on the right hand side. You would just go over there and grab that and drag that over here to the left. And you can see once you do that, you now get a bunch of different options here on the right, whereby you can choose padding on the top or bottom, so how much space you have. You can choose whether it's dotted or dashed or grooved. You can choose how thick it is. You can choose the color. You can choose if there's a background. So, you know, feel free to play around with this to make this look any way that you like it to look. And that goes with any of these areas. You can add buttons, you can add a footer, you can add any custom HTML code, videos, a group of images. So, you know, by all means, feel free to play around with this and make this look as custom as you want. So we're going to go ahead and go back and design another header image. So, but for right now, we're going to go ahead and continue. And then so if we were in Mailchimp, this would go ahead and bring you back to this area. So you could, if you wanted to, send yourself a test email here. You click on that and you can send yourself, you put your email address in here, you can write yourself a note and you can send yourself a test, which I always recommend you do just to see how it looks when it arrives in your email. And that's especially important for your subject line. But also for your content to make sure everything looks good, check all your links, and just to make sure that everything looks the way that you want it to before you send it out. And then you can also schedule your email to go out at a later time, which I think is fantastic. So let's go back over to Canva and let's create a new header image. Okay, so for this example, we are going to pretend that we are Suzy Q's virtual assistant services. So we're going to create a nice generic header that we can use in Suzy Q's emails anytime she sends them out. So we're back in Canva. We're going to create a design, which is going to be an email header. And as before, we're working on the right-hand side. The left-hand side is where all of our examples are. And I think we're gonna use this one because I'm thinking we'll put Suzy Q's logo in the middle and then we'll use the 4 squares to kind of represent what she does for her clients. So I am going to, let's see if I already uploaded Suzy Q's. No, I'm gonna upload Suzy Q's logo. Okay, so we're going to get rid of Market Picks. Okay, so Market Picks is the example that they have here. And I can see that it has a dotted line around it and it has more than one box. So there's a solid box in the middle, there's a dotted box on the outside. So I know that it's a couple boxes grouped together. I also know that because up here it says ungroup. So I'm going to go ahead and hit ungroup because I want to keep the outside box. I just want to get rid of the logo there. Okay, we're going to put Suzy Q's logo in there. Okay, and I'm going to click on this image because I'm not sure if there's a frame behind it. If there's a nice frame behind it, then we can just pop that image in like we did before. So if I delete that, no, unfortunately, there's no frame in this one. So I can go up here and hit undo. Okay, so I have uploaded some images that I want to use. So this image is going to represent the fact that Q does some transcribing for her clients. And this image is going to represent Susie Q does email marketing for her clients. So I'm just gonna, you can see I'm just resizing these. Now this one overlaps, so I could go up here and hit position, and if I hit backward, you can see it moved it behind the text. So I need to go ahead and select it again, and then I need to hit backward again, and now it moved it behind the box and the text. And then this one is going to be, because Susie Q does some, she does some grammar checking and editing for her client. So again, you can see that's on top. So we're going to position this and move it backwards. So now it's behind the text, backward again. Now it's behind the box. And then we're going to hit this last one. And this represents all different kinds of things that Susie Q does for her clients. She does social media marketing, and she does all kinds of design work. Now, this is really nice because this is black. You could actually create an image of something that you do or your website, and you could put that on top of there. So that's really kind of cool too. So if you like this, we could download this just as it is. I kind of like it with the black accent, but maybe Susie Q thinks that's a little too dark for her purposes. She's a brighter, more energetic kind of person. And so is her business. So maybe you want to change this black to something a little bit lighter. So let's pick, oops. Let's get back to black. Didn't actually pick her. This is kind of a close to her orange color. And then we're not going to use this color, but it's kind of close to her orange color. So at least it gives us a good starting point. Then maybe we make it really, really light up here by adding more white to it. So that's kind of nice, soft color. And maybe we want to use this instead of the white behind Susie Q's logo. So you have to make sure it's light enough so you can see the door. And I like the door on her logo because to me that's opening the door to new clients. That's what that kind of represents. So I'm going to copy this number here because this number represents our color. And then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to move Susie's logo out of the way, and I want to select this. And you can see here's the outline color, and here's the inside color, and oh, that's right there for me, so I didn't even need to copy the number. I'm going to go ahead and click on that and now put Susie Q's logo back in there. So I think that looks really nice. However, I think the black trim on the inside is a little too much. So let's keep with Susie's logo colors and see if we can change that black to something closer to her logo color. And if you had, if she, you know, she probably is going to have her logo color so to hand. So you would actually be able to go up here and click on new color, and then you put in what's called the hex code, which is the code that represents your logo color. So, so overall, I really like that. It's nice and soft. It's got all the different things that are represented there. And then, like I said, you could go the extra mile and put a nice image in here so you wouldn't have that black there. So again, we're going to check up here. All changes are saved. Excellent. We're going to rename this email header Susie Q. And then we're going to wait until that says all changes saved. We're going to download it. Again, we're going to download it as a PNG. We're going to save it on our computer. And then we're going to go over to Mailchimp, and we're going to create an email. And we're going to call it email Susie Q. Begin. And again, these are the choices that you need to make. Who you're going to send it to. It's going to come from you or your business. I'm going to put a compelling subject line, which will get them to open it. And we're going to click on design email. These are the different templates you can choose from. These are more basic templates you can choose from. I'm going to go ahead and just hit the one column one. It's my favorite. And again, we're going to go to the top and we're going to click on the box and we're going to hit replace. And we're going to upload our Susie Q header. So first it uploads it to Mailchimp. And then we have to select it to insert it into our email. So I like that. I think it looks really nice. Now, a couple things we want to do with that is select it, make sure it's selected. And then we're going to click Alt. And we're going to type in Susie Q Virtual Assistant Services. Spell that right. And update that. So again, if the image doesn't show up, then at the top of your email, it's going to say Susie Q Virtual Assistant Services. So people know who this is coming from. And then we can also click on a link and put in her address, which doesn't really exist. We want to click on advanced options, make sure it says open in a new window. And then we can go ahead and do any kind of editing we want to do to the rest of the email. So that is how you create another header in Canva and bring it on into Mailchimp to get started on your email newsletter.
Now that you know how to create amazing, creative, eye-catching headers for your email using Canva to do the design and popping them into your Mailchimp email newsletter, be sure to click on the link below to get our free guide, Master Email Marketing to Triple Your Income. If you found this video helpful, be sure to subscribe to our channel, hit the thumbs up, ring the bell, and share this with your friends. And be sure to check out these other 2 great videos we have. We know you work hard for your business and your client's business, and we're here to help you every step of the way. Don't forget, dream big.